Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, member of the Podbros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and check out some of the other podcasts that they offer. Go to bigjujitsu.com, buy a shirt, buy a patch, and don't forget to check out our sponsors, Tape Armor, as well as Trap and Roll Soap Company. I'm Rob.
I'm Devon.
How's it going, dude?
It's going good, man. It's going good. Life is going, but we're just rolling with it. No
Hell,
pun intended, you know what I mean?
those old BJJ jokes. I'm not going to submit to life. Ha ha. Yeah. Oh, that's good, man. Dude, you've been killing it on YouTube now, man. Like, the flood keeps going of like people just coming in to watch your stuff.
Yeah, it's getting crazy. So like, I plug my YouTube and all my social media on here like a whore all the time for you guys at the end of the show, and Rob always gives me the plug. He's like, "You got anything to say?" And that's usually what I do. But yeah, my YouTube, it took off. It took about a month and a half, but I've jumped up almost like 1,000 subscribers in like the last 5 days, and I got the ball rolling. I was just waiting for that one like video to hit, and I found a little niche, and now we're just running with
It's
it. So
perfect.
it's good. It's good stuff right now. It's good stuff right now.
Love it, dude. Hey, it turns out also, Randy listened to the podcast episode also and said he's down to record. I just got to figure out when. So that'll be a good interview for us. And
Fuck yeah.
I don't know why that has anything to do with you killing it on YouTube. I'm like, what the fuck? I just realized that. I'm like, yeah, and related news, I had like lasagna for dinner last night. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh.
I got something I wanted to ask you about, dude.
Yeah,
Because
yeah, go for it, dude.
first of all, the one thing I want to point out for you guys, I want to point out that the show is called Big Jiu-Jitsu, and Rob started it, and him and Sean were on here, and they're both bigger guys, right? They lift weights, and I lift weights too, but this is the thing. Rob and Sean are like heavyweights. I am like a fucking like featherweight. Like I cut down from like 160-ish pounds to 154. I'm a fucking small dude. That being said, it's kind of ironic that this is called Big Jiu-Jitsu now that I'm the co-host on here. But what I want to ask you, Rob, is because I had a conversation with my friend. We were talking about Hoffa Mendez,
Yeah.
and I was saying how like he's obviously fucking great, but he doesn't go up weight and fight any of the bigger guys. Like Leandro Lowe goes all the way up to like medium heavy and heavyweight sometimes and fights people and he wins. You know what I mean? So like to me that makes him good because I don't feel like people should handicap themselves and say that like, oh, he's just bigger than me, like this and that. Like I think all attributes are taken into account. So from a bigger guy, like, and I mean, I'd like to hear your opinion on like someone smaller like Hoffa and like how they match up everybody. Because I don't believe in like pound for pound in jiu-jitsu all the time. I think that like you're dealt with the cards that you have and you have to roll with it, you know? So what's your take on like situations like that about guys that don't go up weight classes in jiu-jitsu? Not MMA and not boxing, but jiu-jitsu specifically.
Well, I mean, they have the absolute division. That's something I think of in like that aspect. But for me, personally, it's still a competition at the end of the day. So people are gonna want to be like, well, I need to cut down. Like that's the purpose of cutting down is so you fight people at the optimum size because you're at this weight, you're gonna fight people the same weight. Some people jump up, some people are comfortable going up and stuff like that, and that's cool. And it's a testament to their jiu-jitsu. But some people also do, they treat it like it's very serious. It's a very serious sport, and I agree with that. So they do the weight cut, they do everything, and they don't jump up. For me, I don't care because mainly I'm at the top. So if a small guy comes in, tournament-wise, yes, I'm going to try to crush them because I'd expect them to try to be way faster than me. So they're going to use their speed, their small size, their advantage, whatnot. But I don't know, man. I don't think it really takes away from anybody's legitimacy. I think for
No,
me,
no, not at all.
yeah. I think I still look at it like this. We do tournaments in jiu-jitsu all the time. Everybody's like that jiu-jitsu lifestyle, hashtag by the pool, whatever, competing, right? We talked about this before. At the end of the day, jiu-jitsu is about knowing how to break somebody's arms, legs, shoulders, dislocate that, choke them unconscious, control an opponent. It depends on how proficient you are and the knowledge you have of it. That's what really makes it, that's why I think really cements people's legitimacy in Brazilian jiu-jitsu or how good they are. You can be a great competitor, absolutely great competitor. There was a story a while back. I'm trying to remember. It happened in Vegas. It was a brown belt. It's been years and years since I've seen this story, but pretty much he had two guys mug him. he threw one of the guys, dropped him on his head, knocked him out. The other guy bull rushed him. He caught him in a guillotine and started choking him, and the guy tapped. So the dude just immediately let go because he's like, oh, he tapped, and the dude stabbed him. So,
Oh shit.
yeah, it's fucking awful. I'm not saying, like, well, there's the difference. Like, he's probably an extremely legit competitor, but, you know, when the time, I think more of jiu-jitsu, like, competition is a byproduct. Self-defense comes first. So if people don't want to go up
Yeah.
weight classes, that's cool, man. That's competition style stuff. Go for it. That's the way it should be. It's like you know, I've guys taekwondo really be like I'm a green belt. Do I have to fight the red belts? It's kind of the same thing to me. Like what do you think? What's your views on? Because I know you like. Is it ironic it's called Big Jiu-Jitsu? I think it's just funny because we started it out that way because of like a Sasquatch and a gi. We need a name. Big Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, it's even better. But it's for everybody now. Our podcast is for everybody. But like, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on the size difference between?
So the conversation, my reasoning behind the conversation, I was using Hoffa as the example with my friend because I'm a small guy, so I have the perspective, but I'm very open about it. Like to go into size real quick, I like one of my favorite training partners, and he beats me up a lot as far as like positionally and stuff like that. But I've gotten used to rolling with him, so I can go without getting tapped, like rounds and things like that. But he's like one of my favorite training partners, my friend Josh. He's a beast, but he's like 215-ish, but he's like rocked out. He's an animal, and and a lot of people are saying, well, he's just too big. And I'm like, I hate when people say that, not because I'm one of those guys that's like, don't have pity on me because I'm small, but one of those things because it's like nobody can change their attributes. Like someone can't make me slower. Someone's can't really force Josh to be smaller or weaker. You know what I mean? Like everyone has what they have. Like I'm gonna be probably like faster than him. I'm probably gonna be able to fit into smaller holes than he would, where he might be a little bit stronger. He's going to feel heavier if he sinks his hips, probably. You know what I mean? So I hate when people pick attributes and they'll make excuses for themselves, and I think that's just more what I'm trying to get at. But I think what I was going to say with Hoffa is, as an example, I feel like for him, we were debating about, is he like one of the like jujitsu like greats, and like he's won a bunch of world championships and stuff like that. But I was like, man, it's hard to like say that about people sometimes when they don't go up weight classes and fight other good champions. I think if you stay in your weight class at the same time, you fight the same people over and over and over for years at a time.
Yeah, that's true. But like, you're just gonna keep fighting the same people. Now the thing is, I don't think it would. Like if Hoffa just stayed in his weight class, I don't think it would be a big deal either. It would still be like, it's Hoffa Mendez. He's fucking good.
Oh yeah.
To me, like thinking about it too, is it seems to be like, oh, the guy is bigger. Excuse comes from like two evenly matched people that are training, right? Or maybe or something, right? So purple belt loses to me. It's like, oh, he's just bigger than you. Well, no, that's not always the case. Like I've had my ass beat by smaller people. Like it just happens, man. Like it's the way it is. They're better than you, and that's okay. You got to learn from it. But it kind of sucks to have like fighting a really tough small guy, and if you beat them, it's automatically dismissed by he's just bigger than you. Is it like BJJ fat shaming? Is that what we're going through? Your sizes. This is terrible. I'm fucking offended. Nah, dude. It's just the way it is. And you know, it goes back to who are the people who are the most fucking vocal about stuff in the jiu-jitsu community? The white belts and the blue belts, and that usually is who it comes from. Like so I actually fought bigger people. I fight bigger people in tournaments. I'm one of the smaller people in the ultra heavyweight division. Like, does that mean that they're shitty because they're bigger than me? Or is that, like, where's the line? Like, it's a win-win for me if I fight somebody bigger. Oh, well, you use your technique way better than that guy, and he's bigger than you. That means that your jiu-jitsu is great. Or, well, he was just bigger than you, and he fucking laid on you the entire time. Like, I'm like, oh, that's great, you know? What am I going to lose? It's a win-win for me. But it's the exact opposite, though, if, like, a smaller guy. Like, if you beat the smaller guy, it's because you laid on top of them. Or if they beat you, their jiu-jitsu is just that much better. Or, well, yeah, I can accept their jiu-jitsu is that much better. It's just it's weird, man. It's really weird.
I agree with you though. I do agree with you because I don't like people to say that they just lost because that guy was bigger than them. Because even if you're small, like you're always going to be stronger than somebody. You're always going to be weaker, faster, whatever. There's too many different attributes to compare. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I hate when people do that because I have a lot of friends who are bigger and they get that shit all the time. People will say stuff when they're done rolling with them like, "Oh, that guy's just fucking too big," and it's like, no, it's just fucking. There's a million different humans or billions of different humans on the earth. Like everyone's gonna be different.
Yeah, like we had a guy. What's interesting this week or this past week, my jiu-jitsu class has started to blow up again. See, I come back and the magic starts happening
Oh, good
again.
shit.
Yeah, so we have a guy who hasn't done judo in forever. He's a larger guy. He's bigger than I am, and he just like it's not. You can tell it's not him just being big. He has that pressure. I'm like, you have to work around it. He has that judo pressure, and that's something that you just don't say, hey man, you're a big guy. I want you to come over here and I want you to fucking smash this guy. Like it just doesn't happen that way. Like nobody is gonna have the
Yeah.
knowledge set, like almost nobody is gonna have the knowledge set to apply that type of pressure to somebody and be effective, especially like a person who's trained a while and has that skill set. So it doesn't work out that way. I don't think.
No, yeah, dude. I, uh, I, I get caught up into it a lot because, and this is the thing too. This is kind of hard for me. This is what I was thinking of earlier as well because I get that from a lot of like girls, and I have friends that are girls that I see beat up dudes all the time. And I think we've talked about this before. Like they're just, people making excuses for other people because okay, funny story. My friend Sarah, she's like the first like black belt that's a female on our like team. She's been training for like 14 years on us, a long time. She's a beast, right? So there was this one guy who came into the gym. I don't even remember his name because I didn't like this piece of shit. He was just fucking annoying. But he was kind of like an old, like just fucking like over the top. If you're not a farmer, you're a pussy kind of
Oh
dude.
yeah.
And so like he had made one joke with her once where as a joke, right? In front of us, he like when my friend Alex made them roll together, and this is like the first week he's at the gym, he goes, "Oh, I get to beat up a woman at home and now here at the gym." And I was like, "Oh,
Ooh.
all right, like
Ooh.
okay." Yeah, it was like, I don't really cringe for anything. I was just more like, "Oh, all right," that kind of got me going. So, anyways, long story short, she arm locks him. She pops his arm. This dude was out for like a week. She fucked his arm up pretty bad. And anyways, he left and all this stuff. But it's funny how like people will sometimes make handicaps for people like that. Like, oh, she lost because she's a girl, or they lost because they're small, and it's just a funny thing. It's been going on in my head a lot because I've been watching a lot more like jujitsu than I have in most recent months, mainly because I can't like train as much as I want to right now.
Yeah.
And like it's just been like one of the things I've been wanting to get out and vent about because the size thing is like it pisses me off when people talk about that because everyone talks about like pound for pound and I think in boxing, MMA, like full on like physical like Muay Thai, big sports like that. I think size does play more of a factor in jiu-jitsu. There's like it's weird. Even though you can't do as much, it's still more broad to where I don't think you can make that excuse for people.
No, I agree. It's about body manipulation. It's about controlling your opponent. It's about doing all sorts of stuff. Like right now, if we rolled, you have the absolute ability, regardless of how big I am, to control me and finish a fight. If we're standing up and I catch you with maybe even just one punch, like your face might go all over the place. You know what I mean? Like, and whereas
Oh, 100%.
it's ridiculous. Like I get the pound for pound stuff. Yes, I understand that because you have two people also trying to smash each other's face in, which is a little different than controlling a person on the ground and choking them, arm locking, and then we stop also when the person taps. If there was no like I hit you and you go to sleep and there's no chance for you to tap. You're out. That's it. Like, who knows what damage is done at that point?
Yeah,
And I think
it's a
also,
murder. It's a murder, right?
yeah, it is. So, I mean, the other thing, too, in competition is we're going to be put with purple belts not with like black belt. So I mean, like in the pound for pound stuff, how many times do you see mismatches in like Muay Thai or boxing matches where one dude just gets fucking demolished because they're not at the skill level, but they're within the same weight. So now add a super
Yeah.
heavyweight Muay Thai guy versus an untrained like 160 pounder. Somebody get the ambulance, man. It's gonna be bad.
Yeah, for real. Someone's fucking gonna have their legs like chopped off and amputated.
So awful, man.
For real.
And in it's like in some sick way. I kind of want to see it. Only if it's like a really
Oh, I
unlikable.
fucking love to see it.
If it's an unlikable dude, it's like a 160 pounder, just like some scumbag, like we're talking about, like, man, fuck them, blah blah. I hate people or whatever. Just some piece of shit guy. Like I abuse my dogs. I'd love to see like some 160-pound dude that fights dogs. Dan Swift. Fight like a professional Muay Thai fighter. I don't know if Dan Swift's 160 pounds. We're just pulling it back from our last episode. But I'd love to see that. No jiu-jitsu involved. Just stand up. And then you get kicked in the face. Like, that probably could be a legitimate death in the ring.
Back in the day, I used to always look for like, because everyone remembers those Faces of Death videos online before YouTube was around. When you'd go look around for the craziest videos on the internet, you could find that wouldn't be on a website where it just fuck your computer up terribly. And I remember I was able to find one about an MMA fighter that died in Russia, and they were fighting on some like crazy elaborate like stage,
Yeah.
but it was like a mat, and there was no ring, and it was like really really big, and this dude got kicked in the head, and he was just like asleep. He was asleep for like 20 minutes, and I guess like the video says, so it says, but I have no reason not to believe it, right? It's the internet.
It's the internet. Who would lie on the internet?
That he. It says he died like 2 hours later in the hospital, and I was like, man, that's the craziest shit in the world. That's what this was all reminding me of, just trying to look for old MMA fights where people died overseas fighting.
That's awful. Yeah, that's still good, though. I still like it. Nah, I mean, dude, Faces of Death, oh, man. Like, the internet was a strange place, like, in between the period of, like, high-speed internet being on everybody's computer and like right after the bulletin board stuff. I know I'm really throwing out like some weird shit some of you younger people might not realize, but like when you were rocking that 56K modem and you could download shit from Napster a little faster than most, like that was awesome. And then then what was it? So you go, I'm trying to remember like some of the old websites you could go to. I think steakandcheese.com. I don't even know if that's still around, but pretty much you could find shit on there like people getting hit by cars and like just bad shit.
Oh shit.
So, there's like 13-year-old me and a couple of friends just watching people get fucked up by cars. Oh, I wonder if that's how that shaped my brain. And I'm just kind of like, I like combat sports. I like watching people get hurt. It's kind of fun. And I'll trace it back to me like, I don't know if I can watch this video of this guy getting electrocuted. Oh, and I feel weird and can't sleep that night. But
dude, I remember going to my friend's house, and he had an older brother who was like 10 years older, and he had this computer that just had like the craziest videos online. And this was in like, that wasn't that long ago. I mean, wow, it was a long time ago, but it was like 2001, 2002,
Yeah.
Long time ago, but not really that long ago. But for the internet, it was ages ago.
Yeah.
And I remember it was the same thing, just the craziest videos, whatever he found online, just hours downloaded onto this. And I was like, yeah, it probably desensitized me a little bit to watching these people get knocked the fuck out.
But now it's like, it's so easy to fucking watch these videos, man. It's terrible. It's terrible, but it's kind of crazy at the same time. Like, there's that much bad shit that has been going on. Like, I'm not saying it's a new thing that people have been getting in fights, people getting hit by cars and stuff, but now it's just more people recording stuff, way more available. Like street fight stuff, man, that's fucking nuts. You can just go on Facebook now and you could find just random people sharing a video of some dude getting put to sleep with a good punch, or that one guy who got choked out on the top of the stairs and let the guy go and fell down all the fucking stairs. Oh, that was a brutal one. Like, the dude's fucking with this guy at the top of like a staircase. He takes his hat. The dude puts him in a rear naked choke, like leans him back. He goes out and he just drops him and he like just falls down. It was like a good 20 stairs. Just falls down 20 stairs, bounces his face off the pavement. It was, yeah, I'll send it to you right after this. It's fucking brutal, man. And he wakes up and he's like, oh yeah, and he just starts doing push-ups. and his face is just gushing blood. I'm like, you can't play that off, dude. You
Oh,
were out, and you bounced your face off the pavement, and you're bleeding. Like, you can't play that off like, oh yeah, I'm good. No, you need to go to the hospital. It's time to go to the hospital.
dude, it's so fucking crazy to think about this. Like, I just got caught up into the idea that's like, when you get lost in the internet sometimes and you see that shit, you almost think back, like, man, what the fuck are we living on? Like, this shit is crazy. All this, like, stuff, all these videos, like, of this on here, we're just, like, can find it at, like, a few keystrokes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so much information out there. I know I sound like a fucking nerd, but there's just so much out there and that you have no idea about. And now we
Today, I was trying to, oh, go ahead, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good. Go for it.
But today I was trying to it's so weird that like we were trying to open and close the vents and stuff like that. And when I went to I was trying to find a how-to video on how to do it with our air vents in the house, but it's funny because I had a bunch of fight reaction videos like in my YouTube playlist, like or the recommended videos of like all the different fights. And I was like, we're having this conversation here right now, I'm thinking like, man, like what's going on in my head? Like I don't have some like planned like thought in my head where I'm like, I just want to watch fight videos. I just go there subconsciously. I get on YouTube and I'm like, I want to watch these people
Yeah.
fight. That's so weird. It's so crazy.
Yeah, it's easy. It's right there, and everybody posts up videos. I mean, it's kind of nice now because I remember YouTube used to just be a bunch of like bullshit, for lack of a better word, with like kids fucking off in Walmart that wasn't funny. But now it's like legitimate people are producing videos, like yourself. You're doing an amazing job, and now it's not so much like random shit that happens like, oh look, here's a video of my cat. Yeah, that's still popular, but it's people putting like full production into these videos and doing an awesome job, and now it's a form of entertainment. And you can even go to our YouTube channel and there are a few videos out there that are pretty awesome, I'd say, but not as good as Devon's right now. That one I put together, I did put that 1 week on. Oh, this is me failing and then just giving the fuck up. So I did that week one. Did I ever show you the week one video, the vlog video that I did for week one
Yeah,
of
yeah.
training?
I watched it. I watched it.
Yeah, I didn't get as much of a positive response from some other people. They're like, really? So to break it down for the listeners, it started with training. There were some good training clips in there. I thought I did a pretty good job catching the whatever, because it was like the week one blog. And then it went to the Kurt Osiander seminar, did a little bit of like videoing there, and then it ended at a party at a bar, and with a man standing on the roof of a bar peeing off of it. And they're like, that's not good, let's not put that up there. I'm like, it's like, dude, I was just like, it was crushing, man. Like, the podcast, I'm used to that stuff, but now I'm like, I really spent a lot of hours trying to edit this shit. It's like, it's not good. Oh, God damn it. There's a few people who told me that. I'm like, fuck it, I'm done. I don't want to record shit anymore.
It's funny when you say it though. I'm like, fuck, I want to watch that again now.
Yeah, I'll find it.
'Cause
I still have it.
I had no idea about the guy pissing off the roof,
Yeah, no, I'll send it to you again. I've got it. So, but just to me, it was.
But you got the podcast thing down though.
Oh yeah, the podcast stuff's good. It's the video stuff. That's why I have a face made for podcasting. It's great. Nobody has to look at it. I don't know, man. We got to do what?
How I have a question about this podcast specifically because I've never really asked a lot of big jiu-jitsu history questions. So I have a couple of them real quick.
Yeah.
How long was it before this show started going until you saw like the rolling of the ball? Like how many episodes deep do you think you were?
Jeez, man. It was like I want to say we did, because we were doing like once a week inconsistently. So I actually I think I have all of the episodes here. So I'm gonna kill the bandwidth, and the listeners get to listen to me click on the mouse, and that's fine with me. You guys listen to me talk about dick jokes and stuff like that, so you guys can deal with it for a little bit. But let's see. I remember we started. Shit, we got a lot of episodes. Oh yeah, shout out to Jiu-Jitsu After Dark for their 100th episode, by the way.
Oh, good shit.
Yeah, dude, I love those guys. All right, so we started in December of 2014, middle of December, right? It was just me and Sean, and then we threw up a, I think it was a Twitter post or a Facebook post that was like, hey, if anybody wants to get interviewed or would be interested in being on our show, hit us up. And then, so we had Andre, who was my coach at the time, then Tyler King, who was on The Ultimate Fighter, like just out of nowhere, was like, yeah, I'd love to be on the show. And that was in February. So we did. Jeez, we're inconsistent as shit. It was like once every 2 weeks at this point. Yeah, it was like 13th of December, 1st of January, 18th of January. Oh, that makes me hurt. Now we're doing like 2 a week. Yeah. So then we had like a couple other people. We had Nels Larson come on the show. That's where it started going. Had a Trevor and Brian when I had to go out of town. Then you were on it, 4th of May. I remember that.
Wow.
That was your 4th of May. May 4th. Wow, 4th of May. Wow, some European or something. May 4th, 2015. That was when Devon originally was on the show. And then it just keeps going from there.
My
Like,
big jiu-jitsu virginity.
yeah. And then actually it started to take off around July 2015. We had Gustavo Dantas on the show. And then we just started going up, down a little bit, go up a little higher, up a little higher, up a little higher. It keeps like going waves up and up. So it just all depends on what we got.
Yeah.
Fabinho, yeah.
Because you have, even on Facebook, dude, the following for Big Jiu-Jitsu, and like people don't realize this, Facebook, if you can get the ball rolling on Facebook as far as like consistent people and likes,
Yes.
dude, that's like, it's huge. Because honestly, Facebook, I think it's harder than any other platform to gain a following on, like a true following.
Yeah, it's really like all the same people still like our stuff. I mean, it's really cool that we have that group on Facebook, and that I think that's what really has helped the podcast, because we originally were using it just to post up memes we stole from other people. We've never modified any based on that conversation we had before, because that actually hurt me real bad when we had Zach Edwards on the show, and he's like, did you modify that? And I'm like, dude, I'm too fucking lazy to make anything. I think the only ones we ever made was the giant fat guy in the Speedo for no gi, and the one with the dog throwing up. That was like when your partner doesn't wash his gi or whatever. So that was it. That was it for us. I'm just like, I'd rather just make podcasts and maybe a YouTube video from that time to time. But yeah, that's like, it's more recently too that still like I'm more surprised, because I was all excited back in the day. We had like the original first episode. Like 20 people downloaded it and listened. Yay! Like we had like 20 just straight. I was like, yes. People, like, that's more people than we told at the academy. So the people out there somewhere are listening to it. 30-minute.
It's cool to think about that sometimes. Dude, you think of 20 people, even then, like, I know how that goes too entirely, because like my first couple videos, or just of any content I've ever put out, like, there's always landmarks, like, it's always like double digits, and then 50, then 100, whatever. But it's like, you almost think of that, 20 people is a lot of people. 20 people were in front of you, you'd be like, I'm talking to a lot of people right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a lot of people don't put that into perspective. Like, you know, some of these people that have Instagram account, like, you know, shameless plug for Devon again. Yeah, you've got like what, 70,000 Instagram followers or something?
I float around there,
Yeah.
up or down.
So you walk out and there's like 70,000 people that are gonna like listen to it. Or like if you go up on stage and there's 70,000 people and you just hold up a picture, that's the equivalent of what you're doing, and everybody. You get the clap. You get what I'm saying? They start clapping. That's the same thing. We put out an episode, and we'll have people just be like, "Yay, cool!" And we appreciate you. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
We still haven't had the Irish guy, like any Irish people, like send us a message though. I'm kind of disappointed.
Dude, we gotta have someone with that crazy ass accent on it. They would just make the show just blow up like crazy.
It would. It would, in fact. Or anybody. I don't think anybody at this point. Nah, we have some good guests coming up as well. It's just kind of floating around here for, we like just talking. So we have a couple bigger name guests coming out as well, if you're in the jiu-jitsu community.
Surprises.
Surprises. Absolutely. And then, let's see. But yeah, it's for anybody who ever, okay, I'm not doing, this isn't like I'm not trying to Brendan Schaub it where I'm going to talk about our podcast for an entire thing and talk about how this is what I want to say to people. Don't be afraid to go out and try it. Like, honestly, this was a straight up, me and Sean were like, fuck it, let's do a podcast. And now we're here. Like, don't be afraid to try it. Like, if you really want to go out there and do a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu podcast, I say fucking do it. Like, and it's not competition. There's not going to be beef. Like I said, we don't have really beef with anybody except a website that will not go named. But then again, I think that beef died off because I think one of those people are gone. But who the fuck cares, man? I can still look at myself in the mirror every morning. But it's fun, and you get to meet a lot of cool people, and you're creating. That's what a lot of people I think are afraid to do these days is create. So go out there and create. Be like if you want a podcast about, I don't know, fucking orchids or some shit, fucking do that. Like, just go out, man. We'll have you on the show.
Oh yeah, dude.
Be great.
For real. I think a lot of people are scared to do that. Most of the people they have an idea and they're like, I need to think about this more and all the stuff they want to plan it. But it's like sometimes you need the internet. You can't plan anything. It's too big for you to plan anything. And even if you do down to a T, it's like you're jumping in the ocean. Just fucking throw shit out there and roll with it. Seriously.
Yeah. Seriously. I agree 100% on that. So, all right, Devin. Well, before we head out, you know what you get to do. Whatever you want to talk about, the floor is yours.
You guys, you already know what it is. Oh, real quick, I haven't said this in a while. Shout out to Mackenzie Dern. You're beautiful. You have some good Instagram posts lately. Outside of that, I am Symphony on everything: Periscope, Instagram, Twitter.com/I am Symphony, Pornhub.com/I am Symphony. Anything you think of, search I am Symphony. You guys will find me. YouTube, I'm blowing up on there, guys. Go subscribe to me and everything like that. Big Jiu-Jitsu, good stuff. Past 100 episodes, still going strong. Good shit.
You gotta be consistent. You gotta keep it going. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this has been the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show, member of the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and find yourself another podcast to listen to. And don't forget to go to our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company and Tape Armor. Two great products that we will be doing a review video for here pretty soon. And don't forget to go to bigjujitsu.com, find some of our older episodes, send us a message. There's stuff we can talk about. Like, if you want to know about something, we'll talk about it. And that's all I got. So I'm Rob.
I'm Devon.
We'll catch you guys next time.